Hello and welcome to our Postgraduate Diploma in Entrepreneurship series of online information sessions. I'm Boni Sones and I'm joined today by Dr. Effie Pitsa. Welcome. Effie, we're looking at your enterprise project on the Postgraduate Diploma in Entrepreneurship. What is the enterprise project?
Okay, so simply put, the enterprise project is an entrepreneurial project or venture that you bring with you to the diploma. Now, it must be something that you're really passionate and it must be something that you want to see coming into fruition. Now, we take a broad perspective on this and we have some people joining us with something that is a little more than an idea, so they've done a little bit of background work into that, and we have people joining us with fully operational projects. The majority of the students who do join us at the end of the day do fall in between these two categories, and the enterprise project acts as a rock, as a lot of the learning and the assessment in the program takes place around it.
So it's a rock continuing their project, whether or not that project changes en route?
That is absolutely fine, and in fact if students realize that this project doesn't really work for them, then it's great. They haven't wasted their time or their resources pursuing further something that wouldn't work. So we do provide support to the students, both the project supervisors and the mentors, if they realize that they need to change their project. And this is something that happens very often. I would say that around 30 or 40% of our students change at least once their project throughout their studies.
So how is the program designed to develop the enterprise project through the course of the year?
So the design of the program takes a process approach and we follow closely the entrepreneurship journey. So we look into the entrepreneurial intent and the grains of the idea, and then moving towards assessing that idea, seeing whether it actually constitutes an opportunity. Then taking that information that students have gathered in terms of the market research and putting it together to create a robust business case, and then on the basis of that, implementing and managing the early enterprise. So we provide the students with a framework for taking an idea from design to implementation.
So it's the whole gamut, really, of the project and idea?
Pretty much.
From beginning to end?
Exactly.
So how do mentors and project supervisors assist?
So project supervisors and mentors complement each other and work with the students to help them translate the academic learning that they do on the program into practical insights and using all that knowledge to drive their enterprise project forwards. Now, the project supervisors in particular help students with the assessed pieces of work that they need to complete, and they also provide feedback and marks to the students.
So is it the marks or the ideas that matter most and motivate?
It's definitely the ideas. The students who join us are really passionate about pushing an idea that they have forwards, so this is their primary concern rather than the marks.
And so what makes a good enterprise project? If candidates have a number of ideas, how do they choose which one to work with? It must be very buzzy.
It is, and actually this is a very fundamental question. Now, if you find yourself looking into the application form for the postgraduate diploma and you find that you have one or you have more than one ideas, but you're finding it a little bit difficult to settle with one idea, then what I would say would be take a step back and think about yourself, think about your skills, think about your experiences, think about your knowledge, think about your values, think about what is it that really drives you, think about what is it that motivates you to get out of bed in the morning, and think about that idea as well. So how do these two things come together?
And do people often have mismatched ideas with their character and personality?
Well, sometimes they do, and this is why we have course one. So in course one, students do take a stock of themselves as entrepreneurs and their values and what they want to do with this idea. And it becomes obvious sooner or later that, perhaps this might not be the best thing for them, or perhaps they might need to tweak the idea a little bit or more significantly to align it closer to themselves.
So what should applicants include about their enterprise project on the application form?
Okay, so we expect them to give us a broad outline of what their enterprise project is about. If they have done any preliminary work on their idea, it would be good to include it and let us know what they've found out in terms of that. So perhaps they have already talked to some market players, or they have done some secondary research in terms of that market, in terms of that idea. So it is good to include that progress in the application form. Also, it is important for them to showcase why this is a good idea for them, why this idea at this point in time. So when we're doing an interview, for an example, I, as an interviewer, would like to go into a little bit of depth in terms of this idea and ask them a couple of questions. Now, I don't expect them to have all the answers to these questions, and I'm really interested to see their thinking behind the enterprise project rather than any specific choices that they've made.
Now, we touched on this earlier, but can you give me a bit more information about what happens if I change my idea or it turns out not to be a great business opportunity? Mentors, project supervisors, they'll assist me through this.
Yes, of course. As I mentioned earlier, this is something that happens very often. So we do have a support system in place. So both the project supervisors and the mentors work with the students to help them proceed with new ideas.
What can I hope to have achieved with an enterprise project by the end of the program? Will it be making money for me?
Well, we've seen that approximately 20% of our students do manage at the end of the diploma to start their own venture and achieve a significant milestone, such as achieving sales, such as creating a product or raising finance. But this doesn't work for everyone, because some projects do take more time to come to fruition, and we need to take into consideration that some people do have full-time jobs, so managing an early enterprise and a full job is something that takes a little bit more time. But what we've noticed is that there is a series of positive outcomes related with people coming on board to the diploma for themselves and for their enterprise project. So, for example, a lot of our students join other people as co-founders, or they join other startups in terms of early employees.
So are the projects always fully blown when people start off?
No, and this is certainly not what we expect from students when they join the program. For around 20% of the people who go through the program, we find that at the end of it, they do manage to start up a business, and they do achieve a significant milestone, such as raising finance or achieving sales or creating a product. But for some other people, this takes a lot more time because their circumstances may differ because of the nature of the venture that they have. For example, if it is a technology company and there are some IP issues to be resolved. Now, what we have noticed is that there are a series of positive outcomes related with joining the program that affect the individual and the enterprise project. So some of our students do decide to join other startups as co-founders or as early employees. People who come to the program with fully blown ventures do manage to achieve further growth in terms of these ventures. We have students who join us and decide that perhaps entrepreneurship is not for them at this point in time, but they continue to act entrepreneurially within existing organizations. And we have people who know that their destination is entrepreneurial, and they work in a variety of roles, such as trying to promote entrepreneurship at a local level, within their countries or within their communities, people who act as mentors to people who are thinking of starting a business, and so on.
So this interaction is really important between the students themselves.
It is, and it is one of the key propositions, I would think, for the program. And this interaction takes place both online, on our virtual learning environment, and during our residential sessions.
Dr. Effie Pitsa, thank you very much for talking to the Postgraduate Diploma in Entrepreneurship online information session today with your summary of your enterprise project on the Postgraduate Diploma in Entrepreneurship. I've enjoyed it very much.
Thank you, and good luck to our students with their applications.